Okay, welcome everyone to Brihad Bhagavatamrita reading, and we began a new chapter last week. We began chapter 4, which is called Vaikuntha, the spiritual kingdom. So interesting to see where we're going now. Namo Om Vishnu Budhaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Varamita Santi Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bhajalini Nivasisha Sati Ashtatara Sadharine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. All right, so we've only gone into this chapter with the first 4 verses, so we'll begin verse 5 today. So I'm just going to read through those first 4 verses. Okay, just the English translation, save some time. I wandered alone, observing on the earth a splendor. Yeah, so he's back to Palma Vrindavan, isn't it? Under the advice of the Vaikuntha, the residents of Vaikuntha. I wandered alone, observing on the earth a splendor I had never seen anywhere. Taken up residence in a forest as if in a daze I forgot everything from before. Okay, text 2. In the course of my playful wandering, I came to Mathura, Sri Madhupuri. There I heard the Bhagavatam and other scriptures from the local Brahmins. 3. After rightly understanding the meaning of devotional service, finally, after understanding the meaning of devotional service in its 9 forms, which we know is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, etc., Ajanam, Dasanam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. And as soon as I arrived, I met my divine spiritual master. He appeared splendid just as before. And when he saw me lying prostrate before him, he joyfully embraced me and offered his blessings. Thus my all-knowing master showed me his extreme mercy. All right, so that's where we read up to last week. So let's have someone that take us into text 5 and onwards. Again, we're just reading the translation. No, we're just doing translations here, isn't it? Yeah, Bhagavad Gita, we read the sloka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you put the text on the screen? Or
sorry.
no?
Thank you. I can do. 1 second. Hold on there. Share screen. Press that button. Find it there. Books, Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Okay. Now press share. Ding. There you go. On the screen. Right. Ready to go.
I can read if you like.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Am I doing text 6 to 7 or
You're doing text 5.
5.
Okay, thank you. Receiving his grace, which revealed to me the most confidential secrets, I followed his instructions by practicing Bhakti Yoga without interruption. Commentary. Devotional service is the highest form of yoga because it is the means for attaining the world of Vaikuntha, and even more important, re-establishing one's own connection with the personality of Godhead's lotus feet. Gopakumara now endeavored with all sincerity to follow this process systematically, according to his guru's instructions. Text 67.
Just a small point here. Interesting how his guru didn't give him systematic, detailed instructions to begin with. He just gave him a mantra to chant. Yeah? He just gave him a mantra to chant and sent him on his way, so to speak. Yeah. So now he's giving him more detailed instruction. Yeah, carry on. 6,
So
7.
I was just thinking quickly.
6 to 7.
Yeah, go on.
To get sorry, when I've heard that before as well, that just newcomers, you just give them, ask them to just chant. and then just don't give them philosophy, this, that, too much. Just get them to chant. And then the chanting will bring them to a certain level and you can.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for making that correlation. Yeah, that's how we generally preach to newcomers. And hopefully through the purification of chanting, then they will automatically, could say spontaneously, inquire into and want to follow further details of spiritual development. But yes, the first thing we try and get them to do is to chant the holy name. Are you chanting? That's a question we always ask newcomers, isn't it? Are you chanting? We say it in a casual way, meaning, we say it in a casual way, not so they don't feel too much pressure. But what we're saying is, you better chant Hare Krishna, otherwise you're not going nowhere. But we ask them, are you chanting? In other words, we're saying you should chant. So carry on.
Prabhu, I'm also having prasadam.
Okay.
Are you offering?
Sorry? Prashadam? Am I offering Prashadam?
Yeah,
Offering them Prashadam.
Don't forget, Molly Prabhu, with the class, you have to distribute prasad from Mayapur. I think that's what she said. She's probably in the temple or something.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mother.
Yeah, such a flood of pure love of God so quickly awakened within me that I lost control of myself. I was unable to do anything but chant the Lord's glories. O Shri Krishna, Gopal, Hari, Mukunda, Govinda, O Nanda Kishore, Krishna, O darling son of Shri Yashoda, please show me your favor. O life of the divine cowherd girls, O Lord of Radhika. Commentary. On this visit to Rajbhumi, Gopakumar quickly achieved the perfection of Prema Bhakti. This prema so overwhelmed him that he was unable to do anything but sing the Lord's glories. He could not even perform proper worship. To show his student how he was performing Nam Sankirtan, Gopakumar here chants a few of the Supreme Lord's favorite names.
Okay, so greatly fortunate. He's overwhelmed with pure love for Krishna. Okay.
Yeah.
A quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
He's gone to Rajbhumi on this visit, Rajbhumi, right? And he's already developed that prema.
That's what it says. That's what it says. Remember, he's I can say he's ignorant of the process, or at least up to now. He's very dedicated to his mantra. Yeah. And he's following the instructions of his superiors and following the instructions of his guru. So it seems like he's a fertile ground. So once he goes to Rajbhumi, he immediately greatly appreciates it because of his purity. Yeah, he immediately appreciates it, and then he becomes absorbed in the mood of that place, which is prema.
I mean, I can
quickly
see
achieve prema. Yeah.
I can see like him being in prema because the way he's going, Shri Krishna, Mukunda, Govinda, really like.
Yeah, he's doing it spontaneously.
Yeah, son of Yashoda. It's like,
He's become very emotional to the point where he's a bit overwhelmed and a bit uncontrolled. But sorry, you asked a question. I was cutting you off.
I couldn't figure out how he, from a stage when he wasn't really, he was being told what to do. And then he comes to here and the prema just.
Well, if we remember back, he often gets overwhelmed with great ecstasy and great appreciation everywhere he went, wasn't it? In Jagannath, remember? He was overwhelmed when he goes to Vaikuntha and he sees the Lord of Vaikuntha. He's overwhelmed with love. And then when he meets the Vaikuntha Dutas, even before going to Vaikuntha. So he is a very highly elevated soul. He's already in great appreciation above of ecstasy. isn't it? If we think back, he's
Yes, because
journey.
when wherever he was, he still wasn't satisfied. He wanted to see his Lord that he was
Yeah.
meditating on.
And even putting aside, he's going to these different realms just through the medium of his mantra that he's chanting. He's become greatly attached to Gopal, greatly lovingly attached to Gopal. So he's like a fertile ground,
Yeah.
for the seed of prema just to burst forth. So especially when he comes to the place of prema personified
Yeah,
through
that's
Raja
where
grooming, and he hears Bhagavatam. Now it seems like he's prema, or his Baba is going into prema now. Let's see how it unfolds. So he's a qualified person to receive this gift because of his sincerity in following the instruction of his guru to chant the mantra. And he's getting the blessings of all these different great devotees. So
yeah. The other day I was thinking when you said how we have to chant in a mood of separation, I was thinking that Krishna is so kind that like through your Guru Maharaj is like at a different stage, and how you getting his vibes, his instructions, and how
Yeah.
you coming in our class, and how we kind of getting it through you.
Yeah.
What the mood is, what it should be. I was like,
Yeah, well,
we don't understand how important, how lucky we are to
Yeah,
not
I'm
the
greatly
person, but we're getting connected to your spiritual master's instructions in a way through
yeah, and
class.
I feel greatly fortunate to be able to share it as well, and also discuss it amongst ourselves.
Yeah, that was quite.
Yeah, so save you reading through the book. I'm reading and studying the book, and then sharing, and also reading it again. So yeah, that's what it's about: Shravanam Kirtanam and discovering different jewels. Like now we're discussing Monday. We'll be discussing Ripalamba. Yeah.
Sorry to say, this is all COVID blessings, Prabhu.
Yeah, blessings to Mr. COVID.
Mr. COVID.
Plus, it's also, I mean, some of us at least want to take it up, which is, endeavoring at least,
Yeah,
The mercy is there, but some don't want to take it, so what to do?
keep on hearing. All right. Thank you for that. Should we read on? So he's going to chant a few of the Lord's favorite names. Let's see what.
Let's see. Thus I called out to Krishna and sang his glories in various ways. At one moment I danced exuberantly.
And also, Prabhu, this section reminds me of Srila. Oh, sorry.
Carry on.
At one moment I danced exuberantly, at another sobbed out loud. Like a madman, I wandered here and there according to my whims, forgetting my own body and everything else. Commentary. Caught up in this state of pure love, Gopakumar completely disregarded external conditions. He wandered aimlessly like a madman, expressing his transcendental agitation by calling out such things as, "Where are you? Where are you, Almighty Armed One?"
Yeah.
It sounds like Chaitanya. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds us of Lord Chaitanya very much.
Yeah.
There's a verse in Bhagavatam, Evam Vrata Sri Priyanama Kutya Chita Nuragurita Chita Utai. And it describes that one who chants the holy name of the Lord, they come to the stage of love of Godhead. And as the heart melts in ecstatic love, they dance wildly or talk like a madman, for they are indifferent to public opinion. Yeah, so it reminds us of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, but as we read in the Nectar of Devotion, there's devotees, different types of hearts are able to contain this pure love, for the purposes of preaching. But he does sometimes manifest like this to like show us where one is more or less overcome and acting like a mad person. Yeah. Transcendentally, gloriously mad for God, in the love of God. Yeah. So he's aimlessly wandering like a madman. Yeah, we can hope to come to that level where we're aimlessly wandering around in Mayapur, Vrindavan, falling down on the floor, sometimes sleeping under a tree and begging to see of the inhabitants of
You
Raj.
would probably get kicked out of Mayapur for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially a temple, But, this is stages, Bhaktivinoda Tagore mentions these stages where one becomes indifferent to the world and is absorbed in love of God. Normally, devotees at this level, then they will contain themselves. Krishna, these sometimes they're overwhelmed, and then sometimes they're able to contain it. But here he's overwhelmed at this present moment. Okay.
I think Mahavishnu Swami is always in ecstasy.
Who?
Mahavishnu Swami,
Yeah,
the
he's always
accordion.
kirtan. Yeah, he's a wild madman.
He runs around with the accordion like a madman.
Yeah, I always think of him when I first even Vratasya Priyanama Kritya. So I'm indifferent to public opinion.
Yeah.
But it's good, so we won't go off on a tangent too much. It was good to note that devotees who are prema, they don't always manifest like that. Yeah, some do and some don't. It doesn't mean they don't have prema. Just like Srila Prabhupada, for example, he didn't behave like a divine madman. Why? There's a higher purpose. Rather than exhibiting or going into your own ecstasies, the highest purpose is the service of the Lord. So sometimes devotees will control their ecstasies in order to execute the service of the Lord. Just like Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes he will become overwhelmed, but very occasionally. But all his ecstasy, instead of dancing like a madman, and rolling around on the ground, he dovetailed that great ecstasy in instructing and in forming the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, And he's divinely prema-inspired in intelligence, in organizing it and inspiring his many disciples. That's how he manifests his great ecstasy. So you see, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he was, I suppose, mature and at a very high level, So he knew how to mature in his spiritual life and knew how to control
Yeah.
emotions.
That's why I was quoting Nectar Devotion. Remember that discussion as a chapter, wonderful chapter, describes the different types of heart. Because some devotees are like, what do you describe like a, what's the example they give? Their heart is just like a small pond, and a little interruption causes waves of ecstasy. I'll have to visit that again to look, but he gives these descriptions. Like a devotee's heart is very, very grave, so he's able to contain the ecstasies within his heart. Others, others are very susceptible to exhibiting their ecstasies. Others are more of a grave disposition. I'll have to, yeah. All right, you carry on.
Yeah, text 10:11.
All right, okay. Now, did you read this one?
Oh,
9, did you read 9?
No, Once I thought I saw the Lord of my life standing before me, and I ran to take hold of him. Overwhelmed by love, I fainted and fell to the ground. Commentary. The phrase prema vivala, overwhelmed by love, explains why Gopakumar was behaving so strangely.
Yeah.
Again, like Lord
At that-
Chaitanya.
yeah. At that moment, the associates of the Lord arrived in an airplane to take me to Vaikuntha. They at once put me on that plane and carried me away. And when I opened my eyes, I saw that everything was different. Shocked, I returned to full consciousness and saw them beside me, the same benefactors I had met before. Commentary. Just as Gopakumar's love, pure love, reached its peak, the messengers of Vaikuntha came to bring him to their Lord's kingdom. They took Gopakumar unconscious into their Vaikuntha vehicle, and while he was in flight, he woke up. Opening his eyes and looking around, he was astonished to find himself in unfamiliar surroundings. He was certainly no longer in Vrajabhumi. The Vaikuntha Dutas, Gopakumar's instructors, had previously evoked in him the desire to see Vaikuntha and had taught him the specific methods for approaching Vaikuntha. Now, by carrying him there, they were personally awarding him the success of his endeavors.
Okay, this is getting interesting. All right, so now he's been taken back to Vaikuntha. Yeah, he's come to a specific state of great ecstasy and love, and they've come and took him back. So let's see how this unfolds. Why they're taking him back? I thought this would be the goal. Unless it means Vaikuntha as a whole, and he's going to go to Goloka Vaikuntha. Let's read on.
Yeah, text 12. Yeah. The plane upon which they rode was wonderful, incomparable, indescribably beautiful, excelling in brilliance the most powerful luminaries. Commentary. The airplane from Vaikuntha glowed more brilliantly than the sun. In the material world, airplanes, vimanas, also transport the demigods through outer space, but those material airplanes are nothing like the one Gopakumar and his escorts were riding. It was certainly Yogya, a suitable conveyance for Gopakumar. Words could not describe how elegantly it was built, since it was manifested from the pure substance of the spiritual world. Wow.
Okay, so
Amazing.
it's actually a plane. It's not a bird. It's not like, it's not a bird. It's actually a plane.
Yeah.
Made out of, I don't know, I was spiritual essence, I don't know, made out of flowers or something. But whatever it was, it's a wonderful plane. Better than the planes that we have to fly on. Oh my God.
Oh my God, they're like sardine cans.
Yeah, it's like it is a inhuman experience, flying. That's my conclusion.
Yeah, it's unnatural. I mean, the way we fly doesn't feel natural. I mean, I'm sure it feels natural to be in a Vaikuntha airplane
Yeah.
if you're qualified.
Okay, continue. Oh, sorry, Mister. Let me go back. You need to get that sentence.
As I reverently offered obeisances, those associates of the Lord embraced me and reassured me again and again, putting forward hundreds of arguments. They wished to give me a bodily form like theirs. Commentary. The associates of Narayana assured Gopakumar that he need not be so surprised and should not treat them with such reverence. They were his friends, they told him, and were now bringing him to Vaikuntha. They furthermore tried to convince him to accept a Vaikuntha body like theirs with 4 arms. His human body, they argued, was not suitable for living in Vaikuntha. It would not be adequate for fully enjoying Vaikuntha life. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it seems like he's gone there in his human body.
Yeah.
He hasn't. Yeah, he's gone there in his very self-same body, but it seems like he cannot interact in Vaikuntha. It seems like they're stopping before he's actually going to fully enter in order to bless him with a body. Well, at least they're doing a nice thing and they're asking him. And it seems like he's going to not be happy with it.
So he's going to get a whole body. Okay.
Text 14. But I refused their offer, and instead, by their influence, my own body, born in Govardhan, assumed qualities and beauty like theirs. Wow. Commentary. Gopakumar did not want to accept Swarupya Mukti, the the form of liberation in which one's body is virtually indistinguishable from that of Lord Narayana. He was satisfied with the body of a resident of Govardhan. Nonetheless, his host blessed his body with qualities like theirs, making it eternal, plurally spiritual, and effulgent. In addition, Gopakumar gained the mystic powers to do whatever he might want, powers that all residents of Vaikuntha naturally possess.
Oh yeah, I've just remembered. Sorry to give the game away a bit, but I think this is where he enters Vaikuntha, but he has this mood of a cowherd boy, and he wants to run up and embrace the Lord of Vaikuntha. He wants to act in a very familiar way, and he gets told this is not the way we interact with the Lord here. I think this is what's coming. I've heard that described. So it seems like he's going to be in Vaikuntha, but not exactly in the forearm form, but in a spiritualized. His body has become spiritualized, so he can enter that realm. But he's going to have the mood of a cowherd boy, so it's going to stand out a bit there.
He's not that happy there, isn't it, Prabhu?
Sorry?
And afterward, he won't be that happy there because he can't have his mood.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. He's not in the right place for his specific bhava, if you can call it that.
Yeah.
His specific relationship with the Lord. He's not in the right place, not in the right body, and in the right place. If anyone else would like to read, please make yourselves known and you can read. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Lavangal.
Oh, I'm still
Keep
going.
reading.
Text-
Yes. Yeah.
In their company, I traveled along the path to Vaikuntha, a path inconceivable, supremely blissful, and distinct from everything in this world.
Okay, 1 second.
Text 16 to 17. My eyes fell upon all those worlds, cosmic regions, and coverings of the universe I had visited before, and I felt ashamed. The residents and presiding rulers of those places were honoring me. Faces upraised, palms joined above their heads, they vigorously cast flowers, parched rice, and other auspicious offerings upward toward me. Commentary. Gopakumar had previously traveled to the abode of liberation by passing through the sphere of the sun, but the path of the present journey to Vaikuntha was even more exceptional. This was the path that pure devotees traverse when they leave this material world for the spiritual world. Unlike tiresome material roads, this path is supremely blissful, and it leads to the realm of Vaikuntha, a realm superior even to the abode of liberation. The same worlds Gopakumar had previously reached with great labor within the 14 planetary systems and beyond. He now easily passed through one after another. He passed the planets encircled by the Loka mountain and entered the part of the universe where sunlight cannot reach. Then he went again through each of the 8 covering shells of the universe. On his first trip to Mahakalapura, the abode of liberation, Gopakumar had known well that the regions through which he was passing were all creations of material illusion. On the present journey, however, his realization was more advanced. He now understood that liberation itself is of little value, so he was ashamed even to look at the material attractions he had once found of interest. As he passed all the planets, he had to tolerate the respectful greetings of Indra and the other rulers. Wow.
Okay, so he's having a flashback. He's seeing all the places where he went, and he's just bypassing them all. And they're all paying obeisances to him because he's going upwards to the Vaikuntha worlds. Yeah, going out of the material realm. Yes.
Yeah. Praised by cries of victory and offered obeisances at every step, I moved on, and before my eyes I saw the abode of liberation and how trifling it was, and traveled upward from there. I came to the world of Lord Shiva. Text 19. There I bowed down to Lord Shiva and Uma with great pleasure, and he made me feel blissful with a flood of gracious words filled with love and respect. And then I went on to that place whose garland of glories cannot be touched by words or by the mind, Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha. Right.
Yeah, text 20. The associates of the Lord told me, please wait here for a moment outside. We should take permission from our Lord before bringing you into his city. Commentary. The Vaikuntha Dutas asked Gopakumar to stay behind in the gateway while they went inside Vaikuntha to secure permission for his entrance. This is the standard etiquette for introducing someone to the supreme opulence of Vaikuntha. Specific permission should be obtained for him, either from Lord Vaikuntha, not directly, or from a proper deputized authority.
Yeah, remember, you can't just, there's gates in Vaikuntha. You remember that whole pastime with the 4 Kumaras?
Kumaras, yeah.
Went into
Yeah.
Vaikuntha. So it seems there's gates, checks, there's a passport control. There's immigration. Is this person qualified to enter? Yeah, immigration officials. So you could say Gopakumar's waiting at immigration now.
Yeah. Text 21. Stay calm and with your eyes illumined by devotion for the Lord, count the waves of the vast ocean of wonders that flow here, one after another, wonders you have never seen or heard of before. Commentary. Gopakumar's escorts could see he was feeling distress at being kept apart from his Lord, so they gave him this light-hearted advice to console him and keep his mind calm and his eyes busy with the work of counting the wonders that would pass before him. From the many amazing things he would see during his short wait in the Gopura of Vaikuntha, he would learn something about the unique glories of Lord Vaikuntanath, and that would strengthen his eagerness to have the Lord's darshan. He would learn about the methods of worshipping the Supreme Lord in awe and reverence, and moreover, the experience he would gain while waiting would teach him something about the many benefits of becoming a servant of Lord Narayana. Thus, his short time in the gateway would be productive. Gopakumar's hosts were joking when they told him to count the wonderful things he would see, a task no easier than counting the waves in the ocean. How will my eyes have the power to do this? Gopakumar might ask. Anticipating this question, the Vaikuntha messengers told him that its eyes would be illumined by Bhagavat Bhakti. Text 22.
Okay.
Sri Gopakumar said, I went in, and I stood outside in the pavilion of the entrance gate. I then beheld someone coming and entering that great city. Text 23. He rode in a transcendental vehicle endowed with the opulence of hundreds of universes. Music and other entertainment filled him with delight. He resembled the Supreme Lord in luster and beauty. Commentary. The person Gopakumar saw entering on a Vaikuntha airplane was absorbed in ecstasy. He was surrounded by his own entourage, like the Supreme Lord, and by opulence greater than in hundreds of material universes. He was dressed and ornamented, just like the Lord, and his companions were chanting his praises as if he were the Lord.
Okay, so he's waiting in a waiting room, so to speak, in the Gopuram, and someone else is just flying in. Can you guess who that is?
Sounds
Let's
like
see.
Indra or something. But Indra doesn't go to Vaikuntha, does he? He has his own planet.
Let's see. Perhaps I'll have a read now, if it's okay. Unless someone else wants to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a bit skip. I thought he was Sri Hari, and I cried out again and again, "Oh Lord, protect me," and bowed down to him. But he covered both his ears and gestured for me to stop. I guess that means it's not Lord Hari. This returning resident of Vaikuntha was shocked to hear himself addressed as the Lord of Vaikuntha, covering his ears with his 4 hands, I should imagine, and sticking out his tongue. He waved another hand at Gopakumar to actually stop him. All right, that's interesting. You see, Indian people do that sometimes. There's a certain mudra which they do in front of the Lord to present themselves as being completely foolish. Have you seen them do that? It's this. They go like that. You seen them do that in the temple?
Yeah, that is done mostly for Ganesha.
Yeah,
In
they do
front
it for Krishna as well. They come in the temple, and I'm a
Yeah.
fool. I'm a fool in front of the Lord. So here it is. It's in Sastra. He's sticking out his tongue. All right.
Like,
And he
oh,
waves another hand at Gobble Kumar to actually stop him. Okay. 25. I am a servant, he told me, a servant of the servants. And he moved on into the city. Okay. Who that? A short while later, another person came by, splendid with even more power and opulence. So these all have 4 arms, because remember, all the forms are very like, they're all similar in Vaikuntha. They all have 4 arms. The difference is the Lord has the jewel he has, what's the name of the jewel he has on his chest? Kastuba. So he's identified like that. I looked at him and thought, surely this must be the Lord of the universe. He must have gone somewhere as a pastime. Now he is entering his own abode. Gopakumar was awestruck and not thinking clearly. He should have known that because his escorts have gone inside to inform Lord Narayan of his rival, the Lord must be in Vaikuntha, not returning from elsewhere. But perhaps Gopakumar's escorts were simply unaware that the Lord had gone out on the short excursion. When the person saw me bowing down with gestures of reverence and offering him prayers, as I had honored the one before, he affectionately spoke to me in the same way and entered the city. So they're coming, going in, entering. Yeah. Commentary, even more convinced that the second person was the Supreme Lord, Gopakumar offered him prayers with all sincerity. But just as the other returning Vaikunthavasi had done, this one told Gopakumar, I am just a servant of the Lord, and hurried inside the city. So this is a city. I guess the whole of the place they're coming from is the Vaikuntha realm, and he's waiting outside of the city in Vaikuntha where the Lord is residing. So they're flying around in Vaikuntha, in the Vaikuntha realms. Remember, there's different planets with different forms of the Lord. So listen, yeah. Many others, text 28, many others came, some alone, others in pairs, and yet others together in larger groups, and all of them, each more splendid than the last, entered the city of the Lord. 29. Seeing them as they passed by, I was immersed, as before, in an ocean of awe. Again and again I bowed down and offered prayers, and each time again they stopped me with nectarian, affectionate words. Commentary. These Vaikuntha residents whom Gopakumar saw entering the gateway last were army commanders and other important authorities. Vishvakshena is the commander-in-chief of the Lord's army in Vaikuntha. Do they need an army in Vaikuntha? Seems like it. Anyway, the daityas and demons have great powers, and sometimes their authority may be challenged. Okay. Army commanders and other important authorities returning late because they've been busy with various responsibilities outside. The residents who had first passed Gopakumar had been in a hurry, so intent on their business that their opulence had little chance to show. So the residents he now saw going by seemed more and more opulent, one after another. Gopakumar submerged in the ocean of reverence. Let me read that again. Gopakumar submerged in the ocean of reverence failed to reason that these different persons could not all be Lord Narayan. Each of them was in fact supremely attractive. So even when Gopakumar finally realized that these were servants of God, not God himself, they still impressed him as such great personages that he spontaneously wanted to worship them. Okay, so Sanatana Goswami here is instructing us, is educating us on what the forms of Vaikuntha, yeah, the forms that everyone has in Vaikuntha. Yeah. So we're hearing about that. Text 30. Some of them carried various items for performing their service. Others simply hurried forward, intoxicated by the taste of the nectar of devotion. Commentary. Some of these servants of Lord Narayan were carrying paraphernalia for his worship, chamara fans and other objects, apparently for their individual services. Others weren't carrying anything, but were simply running in a frenzy of devotion, as if their only service was to be mad in love of God. Okay, that's a nice service to get from the spiritual master.
Yeah.
Your service is to be mad in love of God. In the following verses, Gopakumar elaborates on how these Vaikuntavasis were engaged in various kinds of service. We can hear about that now. If anyone else would like to read, please, you're quite welcome to. Please let me know.
I can read the bit if you want.
Yeah.
Which 31, right?
Yeah, 31. If you're closer to your computer. So.
31. I've got it in the book. All had their minds and senses busily absorbed, each in his own service, and all were decorated with a myriad of pleasures for ecstatic worship of the Lord.
From ecstatic worship, yeah.
Text 32. Offering obeisances, reciting prayers, and doing all sorts of wonderful things. Those devotees, their every limb lending grace to their ornaments, looked fit to appear before their Lord's worshipable Lord. Text 33. They extol the wonder of the great pastime of the Lord, the husband of Lakshmi, as if his pastimes were those of some all-victorious king, and they were eager to see the Lord's lotus feet. Commentary. Gopakumar was amazed at how these persons conducted themselves. They sang and danced without inhibition, expressing the glory of their victorious Lord. They told one another how their Lord favored his responsible servants by providing suitable homes and fine food and drinks. Indeed, because Lord Narayan is the husband of Goddess Lakshmi, it is only fitting that he display his sovereignty with such opulence, and that his servants share in it. Text 34. Some were with their families, some with an array of things, and others had left their families and things outside. Commentary. Some Vaikuntavasis were entering the Lord's kingdom with their children, wives, and servants. Some rode in their own vehicles and carried their own umbrellas, chamaras, and weapons. Others chose to keep their families and baggage outside the gate of Vaikuntha.
All right, this is interesting. I mean, I've heard about Vaikuntha, obviously from reading Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. But I've never actually thought or considered that there's families in Vaikuntha. I never pictured that, but it seems here there is. I guess it's obvious in one sense, but I hadn't thought of Vaikuntha like that. I just thought everyone was floating around with four arms, and it seems there's wives, there's children, there's servants, there's houses, there's a society. There's
And the baggage. There's baggages.
yeah, there's also baggage as well.
And weapons.
And weapons. So it's a place. It's a place that has a social scene, a social setting. But they're all in love with the Lord of Vaikuntha. That's they're all great devotees. But in it, yeah, they have keep their baggage outside the gate of Vaikuntha. I mean, why are they keeping the baggage outside?
Yeah.
They're keeping it at reception. They must have a gracious receptionist like we have in Tripad, who lets everyone put their bags, leave their bags in reception. So I guess the gatekeepers are allowing them to keep their bags now outside. Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how you can. They're bringing things to Vaikuntha. Where have they come from? Like, if we went from this planet to Vaikuntha, what can we take with us?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that I think they're visiting different Vaikuntha planets, different realms in
Yeah.
Vaikuntha, as far as I can make out. But now there is a particular, that's why I can philosophically speculate, but specifically this place where the Lord resides in this particular palace, in this particular city, they're coming there, as far as I can make out. Unless they have duties outside of the Vaikuntha world, you know, because they have weapons and there's commanders and there's an army. So that indicates there's persons who may, yeah. So whether it's indicating, because surely no enemy can enter Vaikuntha. I don't think Hiranyakashipu couldn't enter Vaikuntha, could he? No, I don't think so. No, he can't. So they must sometimes set things straight within the material realms. Yeah, the Vaikuntha Vasis. But yeah, so yeah, they're flying around there and coming back with baggage. You know what's in their baggage? I don't know.
Prabhu, I was remembering this is like, Daksha's Yagna time. Everybody is coming with their families, with their
Yeah,
pets
you're
together.
right.
It's something similar, maybe. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, similar. Daksha, I think it was to the yagna attended by Vaikuntha Dutas. Definitely
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. So that's a
Yeah.
good point. Thank you, Nitai Mata. That means there are different sacrifices going on somewhere in the universe. Then they're taking part in that. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yeah. And some of them take their families and it's a whole family day out. Yeah, take okay, kids, let's go. Let's jump on the airplane. We're going to this place in the universe. There's a big bash. There's a big Sankirtan festival going on.
But
Let's
this
go.
is making sure we really do not want to go to Vaikuntha, Prabhu. In this case, this is too much. It's
Well, don't
similar.
worry. Yeah, don't worry. Gopakumar we will read about Gopakumar's dissatisfaction here. But anyway, but while we're reading it, we can appreciate it as a place where the Lord resides.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
they may take their family and disguise themselves as human beings to take part in a kirtan festival somewhere. You know? Yeah. For instance, when Nimai was born, then the different residents of Vaikuntha and the demigods came to offer gifts, etc. So they will come, go to different places, sometimes deputed by the Lord himself. Yeah. So yeah, it's a place where there's interaction on a human-like level. But everyone is a great devotee of the Lord, a pure-hearted servant of the Lord. Yeah. So it's not like this material world, okay? Let's be very clear on that. It's nothing like this material world where there's anxieties everywhere. In Vaikuntha, there's no time, so there's no anxiety. There's no death, there's no wars, there's no cancer. Anyway, all right, 35, carry on.
But then they had weapons.
Yeah, as I said, there's an army there. It's a kingdom, there's an army to protect. Sometimes they will go out in order to keep the universal order when things are in disorder created by the demons. So sometimes they will go. Yeah.
Okay. Text 35. Some had absorbed all that they had into themselves, and like beggars without possessions, they came alone, immersed in the mood of devotional meditation. Commentary. The Vaikuntha devotees who preferred a more meditative mood of service hid within their own transcendental bodies, the families and the property, the family and property. Okay, family and property. Lord Narayan had awarded them. So the devotees arriving in Vaikuntha were full in all powers and showed the full range of devotional variegatedness in their pastimes of worshipping the Supreme Lord in perfect ecstasy.
Right, anyway, don't quite just have to read it as it is and accept it. Like they hid their families and properties within their bodies.
Yeah, that's
How
why.
that works. How that works, we cannot comprehend. Let's just accept it and read on.
Text 36. Some assume different forms at different times, with all kinds of ornaments, bodily features, and ways of acting, all exceedingly attractive. Commentary. The Vaikuntha devotees not only acted in many different ways, but also assumed many different forms, including even those of animals, birds, and trees. Some devotees would show one form for some time and then change into another.
Yeah, shape-shifting, they call it.
Text 37. Some appeared as humans, some as monkeys, demigods, demons, or sages, and some bore the signs of persons initiated into the behavior of one ashram system. Commentary. The residents of Vaikuntha are in fact purely transcendental persons. The substance of their body is unalloyed.
Satchitananda.
So these residents never belong to the human or any other material species, nor to the limited designations of one as an ashram. Still, for the Supreme Lord's pleasure, they may assume or relinquish any form at any time. Some of them therefore appeared before Gopkumara like members of Vedic society, wearing the signs of particular ashram and varnas. Some wore sacred threads like initiated brahmanas, indicating that they chanted mantras for worshipping the Lord, and they carried kusha grass and kamandalus in their hands, wore tulsi malas on their necks, and had tilaks on their foreheads.
Okay, so this is interesting. Kind of they take on the form of demons. Some appeared as humans, some as monkeys. So in other words, there is monkeys in Vaikuntha, there's animals in Vaikuntha. So that's what it means here. So some of the residents take on these forms. Demons, so obviously it's not a demon, it's not the disposition of a demon, but the outer form of a demon. Interesting. Sages, yeah, sadhus, just with a begging pot and kamandalu. So yeah, it's all very wondrous. We're hearing about Vaikuntha from planet Earth, and it's all very wondrous to us. So
Prabhu, I'm having a question now, Prabhu.
yes.
You know, the gatekeepers, they came down. That because we thought there are no demons in Vaikuntha. That is why Lord has to perform pastimes. They have to come down to this world. And
Yeah,
now
why,
there are demons.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not. I would definitely. It's not demon by disposition.
Okay.
I would say it's demon by a particular type of form. Yeah, because there is humans and there's daityas. They have different form than a human.
Like a gotra. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's different forms, I guess.
Okay.
To give a very mundane memory that's coming into mind now. I remember when this was before I joined Star Wars, anyone's seen Star Wars? And there's a scene where he's, it's interplanetary communication and travel at Star Wars. And there's a scene in the bar. And this human form, he's a human, the star of Star Wars. And he goes into this bar and there's all these different shape of beings, from different realms. They're all sitting at the bar and tables. It's quite amusing in one sense. It just reminds me of that. Sorry for that. Take you to something mundane. But here it's going on. There's different forms, so there's a society there that. Do the monkeys have 4 arms? I don't know. Do the demons have 4 arms?
It's kind of what we are here, but at a really high level.
Yeah, but it's Vaikuntha. Yeah, it's a place where they're all devotees of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no influence of time. There's no influence of decay. Yeah, and they all have all their mystic powers. They can change forms. They have all the different cities at their grasp. They can appear in different places. They can take on different forms. They are free. They are not bound. They are free to go anywhere within the creation of the Lord. But we're hearing how Gopalkumar's at the gates and seeing some of them returning. Yeah, so
we can connect it to in Goloka Vrindavan. Everyone has its own personalities. Grass, trees, everything.
yeah, same. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Monkeys,
So here-
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but they all have awake consciousness.
Yeah.
Where they all have awake consciousness of devotion to the Lord. Yeah, let's just check. Okay, 6:59. Perhaps we're
We just
paused there. We're going to hear some look like Chandra, like Indra Chandra. Others, some had 3 eyes, 4 heads, or 4 arms, or 8, or 1,000 faces. Okay, so this is very educational. I've always only thought everyone had 4 arms.
That's what I
At least
thought.
we're being that different description we're hearing here, unless it's some more details are given later. But anyway, let's leave it there in Vaikuntha, and all right, let's carry on next week on this adventure of Gopalkumar. So now he's went to Bhoma, and overwhelmed in great ecstasy of love, prema. With that, the residents of Vaikuntha again came down and taken into Vaikuntha. Yeah, and they've offered him a Vaikuntha body, but he doesn't want it. Yeah, he wants to keep this body he has, so that body gets spiritualized, and now he's waiting in reception. While the Vaikuntha's dutas go in to ask if he can enter, and now he's seeing, and as they said, he would see all wondrous things while he was at reception, and he sure is. Yeah.
It would be
Right.
nice to know that somebody who is at the level of Krishna Prem, and then he's in this situation, how does he see things?
Yeah, I mean, like a purple. What do you mean exactly?
Like, he's at a stage of prema, and he's
Yeah.
going to go to Vaikuntha now. So how is he going to see that Vaikuntha place now?
Yeah, we shall see, because
In a different, in a different,
because he's just at the gates. Yeah, he's just in reception, so to speak. So he's yet to enter.
yeah.
So we're going to hear about that when he's actually going to enter Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
And then he's going to see the Lord. So let's see how he reacts. Very exciting, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
All right. Let's pause there and let's connect up. I think Chandravali is going to speak about a proposed change of reading day. But I'll leave that for you guys to sort out. Shall I? Yeah, you can. Prabhupada ki jai, Brihad Bhagavatamrita ki jai. Shall I stop it here and you can sort out on the?
No, because as soon as you leave, we won't be able to.
Okay, 1 second. Let me stop the recording then.
That's all right. Yeah. I quickly wanted to check